for the greatest show in the history of great fucking shows.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
And I'm gonna stop swearing as best I can.
Yeah, bullshit.
Okay, man. Here we are up in studio, 48th floor. I'm with my main man, RTB.
Fuck off, tall Paul.
Oh, jeez, I didn't do it. That Beers with Brokeass, the official SURREY podcast shirt looks pretty mint on you, big boy.
Pretty official.
It does, yeah.
It's official.
I like it.
Me too, man. Oh, gee, green, Ali motherfucking G in the house here.
What up, what up? And they do look great.
And the hoodie looks sick.
hoodie, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
People message us for some swag.
Some swag.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, here
So
we
what's the
go.
topic of the day? What's the topic of the day today?
Well, you know what? I think that we have to touch the Aaron Giles thing again one more time. No pun intended.
I definitely don't want to
Oh,
touch
wow.
Aaron Giles.
Jesus
but
Christ. No pun intended.
I just figured that one out. Yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
So what do you got to say? What's
Yeah,
going
but
on?
let's hold. But like I agree with you. But don't call Aaron Giles update number 3. It's just bullshit. Like, you know.
Let's stop updating this
yeah,
guy.
let's stop. Yeah, stop.
Let's
updating.
just conversate about him.
Okay.
What do you got to say?
sure.
What do you got to say?
I want him to come in studio. I gave a shout out to somebody that knows him, and I offered him $400 and or $350, and Ali G said he would kick in $200.
I'm down. I want to get him in here too.
Here's
Hold on.
this
Why
is
do you
why.
want him in
This
here?
is why. Because
I want to calm him down a bit.
he did his time, right? As crazy as it is, we live in a country, you do crazy, stupid, badass shit. Like, it's appalling, whatever. You don't have to agree with it. Everyone knows what it is, right? You know, serial rapists running around. But the worst thing that you could do is have, everybody in the world against this fucking guy.
Yeah, back him into a corner.
You know what I mean? Like that. He deserves to fucking the right to walk around and if he's following the rules and he's keeping clean and doing those things, he did his time, man. So it's crazy. I almost feel sorry for the guy a bit, right?
Holy fuck.
You know what I mean? So
But you just have a big heart. That's the problem. Because I have to agree with that. I want him in here, but I also want him in here to kind of hear his side of things.
Yeah.
And to hear, kind of just kind of feel him out a bit, right?
About
Just-
that
just
third.
to be-
What? That was funny.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I want.
What the fuck is going on here? I totally get you, and tell his side of the story and all that shit. And maybe he'll tell us about the
maybe
third
he'll
rapist.
apologize,
or maybe he'll let some. Let
maybe he's
open the can of
sincerely
worms.
sorry. Obviously his brain, fucking wasn't right, and maybe till this day is not right. But you know what I mean? The guy's mom just died, and he's going through some shit right now. And like I say, man, I feel so bad for anybody that's been affected throughout this whole thing, this process. But the guy did 22 years, man. So
Okay, yeah, but 22 years, but he's let out with conditions. Like, you're let out with conditions.
Right.
It's not parole. You're let out with conditions.
He's basically inside. He's technically supposed to be kind of in jail still, but with the conditions. That's
Yeah,
how
with the conditions, right? And now you have people like texting you, oh, he's on drugs. Well, that goes against one of his conditions.
yeah.
Does it not? Like, we looked
Yeah.
it up today. Those are one of his conditions.
Oh, 100% it
technically-
goes against.
So we can't even call the cops on this fucker because guess what? It's just hearsay.
Yeah.
So basically, the cops have to roll around and pick him up,
drunk,
intoxicated,
high, whatever, right?
or
Yeah,
high, or
yeah,
whatever, and then he goes back to jail. But me and you or anybody else just can't lay a fucking claim on this guy.
But what I don't get is, okay,
and that's stupid.
Okay, this is my thing. He's all over the news and stuff. So I'm working at the beer store, the bar, or whatever. He walks in, he's drinking. Why wouldn't I just pick up the phone and say, this guy's in here getting drunk? He's a known rapist.
You should.
You should. If you see him in a bar or you work at any kind of liquor store establishment and this guy walks in picking up booze, call the cops. He's a dangerous guy, right?
And see, that's different because you can get him on video then. But I mean, like Marco gets like Brokeass over here gets a whole bunch of calls like saying, "Oh, he's high, he's always high," or this, that, and the next.
But
thing.
I say,
But
if
he
50
can't
people are telling him one thing,
yeah, I know, but he can't do anything with that.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't even go to the cops and say, "I got 50 texts saying, hey, guess what? He's high."
You
And
actually
the
have to
cops are gonna
catch
be
him in
like,
the act.
boom.
It's
That's
kinda-
right.
yeah.
You have to. And it's fucking, and that's the shitty part of the whole fucking thing is because we all know he's breaking his conditions. Everybody out there knows this. But
have
there's
to
not a
be.
goddamn thing you can do about it. The cops just have to get lucky and pick him up one day.
Yeah.
but see,
You know?
I don't understand with
Don't let this fucking guy use your computer ever.
Yeah.
Because
Phones,
chances are he's
anything.
like
Yeah,
fucking.
absolutely.
because if
looking
you let
up
him use the
some bad
computer,
shit.
you know, all of a sudden you're the one they're calling you and breaking down your door because the IP is that he's sending shit from is your computer or your phone, right? That's dangerous. That's a dangerous.
Yeah, and how's that going to go? Oh, it was Aaron Giles. Aaron Giles was using my
Exactly.
computer. Yeah, right, buddy. You're
Yeah.
coming to jail. Right?
See, I don't understand. Is this guy? Is he living in like he has to be living in a community where people know who he is, right? No.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
No,
'cause
no,
they-
we don't have a registry here, do we?
No, but what it is they'll let the manager know. So say he's in an apartment building.
Okay.
They'll let the manager know, and
If there's kids around and stuff.
and they'll let neighbors know that this guy's living here. So that's what they did in Coquitlam, but they picked him up. Apparently, he's back, maybe possibly in Surrey now. So
But he has to give his address wherever he's staying,
oh,
right?
absolutely,
100%
yes.
too.
That's why they picked him up in Coquitlam.
He would have to see a probation officer at least once
Yeah.
a week,
He
a
wasn't-
day, or he might have to sign in.
Yeah.
Like he might have to go somewhere every morning and sign
But
in, right?
I got a question for you there, Marco. Like, why do you... What are you hoping to accomplish by getting him in here? Like, you want him to tell his story, or do you want to see for yourself that if he's still fucked up and he, you know?
Yeah, a
'Cause
little bit of both. A little bit of both. Like, because you know what I mean. Like, fuck, man. Maybe he isn't gonna like reoffend, and you know, maybe like you know what I mean. 22 years, you know, was enough for
Maybe
him to
he
go.
can calm everybody down and let people know that it's
Like he's got this under control. Like
Yeah.
basically, I want to hear him basically say, you know what, I go through fucking therapy. I do this. I you know what I mean. Like I think
we want the hearsay to be what it is or what it's not.
yeah,
right?
absolutely, right. And maybe the guy, you know, fuck, maybe he works it out and lives.
And it could be even a phone call. $250. I'd pay him $250 for that.
Absolutely.
I would chat with him, right?
I want to know if his head's on straight right now, because if it isn't, then people should worry, right?
Well, here's the thing: is like, I bet you when a like when a bad rape happens in Surrey or Coquitlam, like, you know, because they all have their MOs.
They
must-
checked his
Right.
monitor
Yeah,
right
no,
away.
well, the monitor, but not only that, but they must, like, you know, hold up pictures. Is this the guy? Is this the guy to
Yes.
the victims, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I agree with you. Like, see where your head's at. I mean, I don't think he had like.
I look at it this way.
Just hold on. He broke a few of his
Conditions, yes.
conditions before. Like, was he running around with duct tape, or was it just
No,
from
he
being
had
drunk?
he had alcohol, and he was staying at a residence where he wasn't supposed to be staying.
So, but all the major things, like we don't know if he's like hanging out with younger kids or.
But here's the
or
thing.
whatever, right?
I kind of attribute
I mean,
it back
fuck,
to
but shit, I
like
don't
a
know.
Larry Meisen situation. He ran around Surrey, acting like an asshole for 30 fucking years, doing horrendous crimes that people fucking knew about, and just shut their fucking mouth because they were scared.
Yeah.
So how much shit is going down when he's around, and they're like, "Fuck, that's Aaron Giles. And if I fucking say something, he might know it was me, and
Yeah, it might
he's gonna come
kill
back
me."
through my fucking window, right?"
yeah, rape me or kill me.
So how do you know that's a touchy subject? So these people that could be texting you could be just being like, "I want this guy out of my life," and the easiest way to text this guy, he drops
Yeah,
a
it could be
dime on
someone
him.
to
So they're not
stir-
the ones dropping the dime, right?
Yeah, it could be someone stirring up some shit.
Yeah,
too.
like, but we should also not forget about the victims here. Like, we have them on.
Absolutely
If we have them on the podcast here, it's the victims here who are going to be fucking
Yes.
devastated, and you know, like, maybe they stumble
no, but-
across Beers with Brokeass podcast, Aaron Giles in the studio, and just hold on, and it's not to like glorify him in any way,
No,
shape, or
absolutely.
form. I think he's a piece of shit, and like,
To be honest, though,
I think he
I think
he still
I
deserves
think-
to be in jail.
I think maybe
I think
though.
so too. So it's hard to refrain from.
I think
kicking his
maybe
ass,
they
right?
want to hear from him. Like I think maybe some of the victims want to hear from him because they're it's like he's just silent. He's living in the city and he's silent. Like to a lot of people,
Like in the shadows.
That's
like a time
scary.
bomb waiting to go
yes,
off, right?
That's scary to a lot
Just
of
ticking
people,
and
right?
ticking and ticking,
So
right?
if he was on here and said, you know, like broke it down, says, I'm going to counseling. I got counselors coming by. I got POs. I got this. I'm on the monitor. Like it reduces the risk of him doing certain things.
I wonder if he's on a monitor too.
Oh, absolutely.
It says he is in the paper,
yeah,
but
it says he's ankle
But, yeah,
brace.
I mean, that-
and
that-
10 to 6. 10 to 6 is his
Yeah.
conditions, and
that part of his condition, or that one of those conditions could be over by now, but we don't know.
well, that's just it as well because that was last year, right? So
Yeah, because he'd have conditions to work maybe, but
Yeah.
because with the when you have an ankle monitor, it's got like a certain radius on it. So if you go without a side of that radius, someone comes to your door and it's like, you know, where'd you go? And you know, I went across the street to help my buddy fix the car. You're not allowed to, right?
yeah.
You got to stay within 150 meters of this box that's in your house or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he can't be traipsing around at 12 o'clock at night without
No.
that thing going beep 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 beep.
Yeah,
beep.
they'll grab him right away.
Right. So I don't know how he gets around that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So like, well, you know, like Aaron, if you get a hold of this, or if you come across it, you know, give us a call. And,
Well, I know that somebody when I went to share that link on Facebook, I couldn't share the link. I could only share the link, but with no picture. So that means somebody has gone on to YouTube, whether it's him or someone else has reported that picture, and it's now when you go to share that link, it won't show up on any other link.
Is this true?
That's true.
yeah.
I'm the one who did it. I showed
Yeah,
Marco.
yeah. I couldn't share it either.
Tried sharing it 15 times. It just would go YouTube and it'd show a little thing,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
wouldn't show his picture anymore. So I'm sure he's seen it.
And said, yeah,
Flagged it, right?
Flagged it, possibly, yeah.
Sorry, what? Oh,
It doesn't matter because we got it. We got a couple.
It
of
doesn't
them up.
matter. We got all the views, but in retrospect, I'm saying he is watching. And
Oh
listening,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. There's no way he hasn't heard because
Right.
I know people that like pretty much talk to him.
Right. So
So
if he does hear this, let's get a phone call, even right?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
well, I
it? Isn't the
guess
number
so.
on
Like,
the?
I'm not all for that, but I mean,
I would rather a phone call than him sitting beside me. You know? to
No,
be
no,
honest,
no.
right?
Like, I mean, look, we're gonna go all out. I mean, he might as well come in. No fucking phone calls. Could be fucking Jim John down the road saying, "Yeah, man, it's fucking me."
True, and then he
right?
just
Like, fuck
collects $550,
fuck that.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
if it's gonna be him,
Let's get him in here. Yeah.
Yeah, let him be here, and we'll take it from there.
well,
Fuck
here,
it, you know.
hey man, like this is scary to all of us, man. Like it's scary to everybody that's listening, like you know, or that are gonna come across it. But like I say, man, him just being in the city and being silent
I would rather know myself.
is
Even if he's full of shit, at least his voice has been heard and he's telling you the things
Yeah.
you kind of want to hear. Even if
Yeah.
he's full of shit, you at least know that you'll find out where he's kind of stuck and what times he could be
Yeah.
out, kind of thing.
for sure.
You know, so
Yeah, but I agree with your silent in the city thing.
It's
you know.
creepy.
It is
to me, it's
creepy.
creepy.
It's
right?
totally creepy.
It's like you know, people are messaging me, go like you know, old ex-girlfriends and stuff like that, and they're terrified right now.
it's creepy as hell,
Because
bro.
they just know he's around, but they don't know.
Well, it's kind of like when you're in high school and you know at 3 o'clock that the guy from the other schools come to beat you up, and the whole day you're just fucking looking out the fucking windows as it 3
yeah,
o'clock.
you're like,
hit.
fuck.
It's the
How am I gonna get out of this?
imagine how feeling that fucking every day, you know, feeling that relief for
Anxiety.
22 years, and then all of a sudden, boom, that relief. 22 years later, that relief, that feeling of anxiety is back in your life again, right?
Absolutely. And a lot of these, you know, the victims, you know, something like a lot of people, they never get over, right? So,
Never.
so you know, they're traumatized their entire life from something like this. So,
And probably like, you know, even some of that is like, you know, you're afraid to live in an apartment no more. You can't live on the ground floor of places. You're afraid to leave, you know, you leave your door unlocked and you're just thinking about it all night long.
Yeah.
Right?
See, so buildings like this here at the Civic Hotel are ideal for that.
See,
yeah,
for
pretty
me,
secure,
exactly,
very
right?
secure.
You know, I can't see, but in general,
But yeah, no, just for sure,
scary
they're
stuff
scared.
out there, right?
I was going. Let's switch gears here a little bit too. I was going on the scrolling by on Facebook, and I saw some guy from Russia. I guess he was a mechanic, and some older dude was like drinking with some boys, and he was like, you know, take your pants off, dance for me.
Oh, I seen
or
that.
Or I'm gonna kill you, or something like that. And then the one boy escaped and got the mechanic. And this mechanic runs in and starts thumping on the guy, hitting him
Seen
with a
that.
stick and shit. The guy ends up dying, and now this guy, they gave him 15 years possibly. They convicted
where's
him
this?
of murder. It was in Russia. I gotta look it up.
I thought
Yeah,
you
I
said it
seen
was a
that. I seen
Russian
that. I
guy.
just very briefly seen that.
Wow.
So, and now everyone's choked, right? They're like, what the fuck? You know, the guy goes in there, saves the day, and, you know, the guy dies.
But it's just crazy that they would put him in jail. I can't see that going anywhere. You know.
But here's the thing, and this goes back to what I was saying before about like you know, we're gonna talk about it like later about the creep catcher thing, catching the guy twice. Okay, now this goes to exactly what I said before. This guy who's getting these little kids, this Russian guy's getting these little kids to take off their clothes and feeding them booze or whatever it was, right? He's done that before.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely.
So I've always said this, like with Ryan and the creep catchers and stuff like that. When they post it, they should put something up. If this guy has ever done anything to you sexually and you did not want it, it was unwanted.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I agree with that.
Contact the police. Contact
Yep.
us. Or contact Beers with Brokeass, right? But just hold on.
Go ahead.
But here's the thing: is that I think that if that was to happen and some person was to come forward and say that is the guy, mom, that is the guy, dad,
Yeah.
and boom, then you know what you got? Now you got charges.
Yeah, for sure. Go to the cops.
Yes.
Contact Ryan LaForge, Creep Catchers,
Right.
or even Beards with Brokeass, and let's because these guys have done it multiple times.
Yeah.
So, but what we need now is we need
Somebody come forward.
Exactly. We need people to come forward and go, listen. This guy took me out. And you know, try to
even if
you
it's
know,
one person, it backs up these guys because when they go to court, it's very tough for them to get.
they're
these-
not even taking
not even
yeah,
charges.
but you know what I mean. When it comes down to it, it's very hard to get these guys because there's no one actually a witness, but there has to be out there. There has to be someone. You know, I know it'll take a lot of
We need some
courage,
victims.
but come forward and let's put.
Yeah,
some of
because
these
let's
guys-
talk about that guy
Yeah.
that they just caught twice.
Go
But
ahead.
let me just say one
Yeah.
thing, because is this true? The only law that's being broken when creep catchers catches them is that's the child luring law. That's
yes,
it, right?
That's the only law because
That's the
technically
only law.
nothing has happened.
Yeah, like there's no
There's no contact yet.
But there would be.
No, it's not just the child luring because a lot
Okay,
of
well, that's
lot
good.
of
Plus the
times
internet,
they're
dirty talk on
sending-
the internet
They're
stuff.
sending dick
Nick,
pics.
that's all.
Okay,
and
okay,
all
yeah,
illegal,
oh yeah,
so-
okay.
Can't be
So
sending
it's
your dick to a
multiple-
child, right?
It's multiple.
You could even send your dick to a
charges.
chick, and she could phone the cops and say, "Look, this guy's sending me dick pics. I don't fucking like this. This is assault."
Absolutely.
So even sending a dick pic across it, I've seen that happen to a guy that was dating my ex, and all of a sudden, some girl's posting about the guy and a picture of his dick, right? And she's posting it to everybody on Facebook, saying, like this guy's sent me dick pics and whatever. And I just told her, call the cops, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's assault.
Or at least tell the guy, hey man, like
She
if you
did. And
do
the guy
this
guy
again-
sent her another picture of his dick by a fucking beer can, bro.
Was it comparable?
And no, I phoned my ex and I was like,
What a
I was like, here's
dickhead.
your boyfriend, right? And she's like, what are you talking about? He's online sending his dick to another fucking woman.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Let's talk about this double creep here, Marco. Or no. First of all, okay, yeah. Let's talk about
What
that
happened?
shit.
Creep catchers? They got the same
Okay,
guy?
so apparently, well, not apparently. I was watching. So they caught this guy,
Okay.
and then like a month later, the guy's at it again, and he's an immigrant. Came to the country.
So they caught him. He said, no, I'm never going to do it again.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
and
And then in the other video, he's saying the same thing. Oh, you ruined my life. Oh, you ruined, or what, something. And he's like, oh, you ruined my life. You ruined my life like this, or he's saying something like real weird. And then Ryan's like, no, man, you ruined your life, right?
Exactly.
Like you're here. Oh, I will not do it again. I will not do it again. He's like, that's what you said last time.
See, those are the
and they
type of
had
guy.
the guy, and
Yep.
this guy was like backtracking and scrambling, but this guy here, how in the hell how is there not like Doug McCallum? Get a little squad or whatever or division when you get the new police force, and let's start taking some of these.
Yeah, get like a
guys down.
child task force division.
Because it is crazy
Like
to
a
me.
special victims unit kind of thing.
Absolutely, because it's crazy, man.
And it takes a different type of police officer to navigate those situations. And Why not get a guy like Ryan LaForge and his team and get them in there to show you, hey, this is how we do it.
Yeah.
This is kind of how it's done.
Absolutely.
And, it's like when I used to watch Catch a Predator back in the day with Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
And there would always be cops in there, and they'd be waiting in the wings for the guy, right?
Yeah.
Same type of idea, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Like, work together. Why can't Ryan LaForge and the cops work together? That's what I don't get.
Absolutely.
like when the new cops come into place, if they do, which I'm pretty sure it's 100% deal.
It's pretty much 100%, I think.
Doug McCallum should put out a tax for all Surrey residents called the Not in Our City tax.
Yeah.
And
That's a good idea.
basically it's a 0.5% or even
take,
less.
Even take $5
Just hold on.
off every.
Yeah, but just hold on, or even like 0.25%. Every person in Surrey not in our city tax, and put it towards like a task force that is designated to fucking catching these guys and driving them out of Surrey.
Yeah, because it's
Driving them out of Surrey, because guess what? Okay, drive them out of Surrey, send them on to the next city, and let the next city have that same fucking tax till eventually one city goes, fuck you, 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Boom.
there needs to
Done.
be. What I think it's also too. Rob made a good point there. The point is that these guys, there's no consequences. If I was selling cocaine, right, and I knew that I couldn't get pulled over and the cops weren't going to do shit, I would sell cocaine. And even if I knew it was like, okay, it could be cut with fentanyl or something, I'd probably still sell it because I know there's no consequences.
Yeah.
It's the same as these guys. They roll around, picking up little kids and doing all this shit. It's like if you're picking up a kid on the internet, why aren't you at the park picking up a kid? What makes you not at the mall picking up a kid? Just because it's a little. I don't get it, right? I just don't get why these guys are not put in prison and not at least given 3 to 4 or 5 years, if not that, put in the front page of the Leader like they do car thieves. You know when they do a car thief, they show you the 20
'em.
most wanted. I seen Robert Osborne on there before he got his life together, right?
Sean Clark,
All those
Osborne,
guys
all
were in
those
there,
guys
right? And it's
we
like
grew up
it
with.
teaches you a lesson. You see your picture on the front page of the paper, kind of it shames you a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if creep catchers could rent out like space on, because there is no newspaper, but there is the Surrey Leader and the Surrey Now are still newspapers, right? I haven't seen one forever, but I wonder if he can rent out the front page and plaster all these guys' pictures on there, because you can't. You could plaster them all over the internet.
Because with the privacy laws, what happens is these guys have a right to privacy. So if you don't have anything on them that's concrete, like I mean concrete as in witnesses, them touching somebody, stuff like that, where a DNA kit, it doesn't work, bro. They have the right to privacy and shit.
Oh yeah,
so.
because they're like, you should see the emails that Ryan gets from the privacy commission guys. What's that called? The privacy commission motherfuckers.
They're called commissionaires, I think they're called.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is, man. But yeah, they're all over this guy, man. Like they are blasting him, basically telling him to stop. And he's like saying, fuck you.
They can't stop him from doing what he's doing. And they can't stop them from doing what they're doing.
Exactly.
And what I don't get is why the cops do not team up with this guy. Why can Chris Hansen from 2020, just because he's a reporter and he works for NBC or ABC or whatever that was, why can the cops show up for him, but they can't show up from a guy from Surrey who's trying to do good?
Because it's money.
It's money, and also this guy's probably got a little bit of a past too, right?
And I'm pretty
Which
sure.
I'm not sure of. I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure like child luring laws in the States is probably in some of those states down there is probably ground for fucking life imprisonment.
But what my whole point is the cops are there with him. And it's
because those people are actually breaking the law.
But they're not, because what they're doing is the same thing. They have a decoy.
Yeah, but up here they're technically really not breaking the. It's not a law where.
I know what you mean. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, have you heard anybody getting convicted of child luring up here?
But that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, they were until they just stopped taking his
And
cases.
I haven't researched
Right?
whether onto Catch a Predator were these guys getting convicted too. I don't remember them doing updates on that show. But my point is, he's in a tie. He's a respected guy. That's why he's getting help. If this guy was in a tie and a suit, walking around and doing it like Chris Hansen did, he'd be getting help too. It's kind of like going into court and you're dressed like a gangster, but you make $1 million a year and you have a legitimate company. You're gonna get more stuff thrown at you than when you're walking in a suit and a tie, and it's appearance, right?
Yeah, well, I guess
be.
it could be.
100% it is, man. He was rocking around, and he was a church-going guy in a suit, and he was like, I'm just a stand-up dude.
Yeah.
He's gonna get way more response than he gets because of who he is.
But it's, here's the thing though, like the media, because like at first they were working with them, they loved it, right?
Right.
And then they
backed off.
well, you know why they backed off? Because he basically told the one guy, he's like, "You're a fucking dickhead." He said it right on camera to the guy, "You're a fucking dickhead." Because they go, "Oh, what do you do with all the money from these shirts that you're selling and these fundraisers?" And he just dropped the mic. He goes, "Really? You're gonna turn it like that?" And he said right to his face, "It's like, you're a fucking dickhead."
It costs well,
It costs money to do what he's doing.
Yeah, but
Absolutely,
I don't understand why he didn't say that. It costs money to do what we're doing.
He's traveling to
Well, fuck,
Kamloops
man.
and Kelowna and cameras.
I got to bring my team, and sometimes my team has to miss work or whatever because of this. So fuck that
Absolutely.
money goes
or
down.
every time a cop snatches one of his $1,000 phones and keeps it.
Yeah.
He's got to go get a new phone, right? And,
Yeah.
He's got
Absolutely.
kids and probably a girlfriend and everything else like everybody else, man.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, right?
Like, I don't even have kids, and I think everybody should get behind this guy.
Everybody should get behind this guy, and the police. We should start a
We should
petition
demand.
or somehow
Yeah.
where they start a task force with this guy and they work together, man, because he's the guy that's going to catch the most people, and he knows how to.
Yeah.
And the cops can make it so they can be like, you're breaking the law here, but you're not breaking the law there. So point your stings in that direction so we can get these guys, not just be like, nah, wipe their hands, forget
Yeah,
about this guy,
yeah.
right? That's bullshit.
I think I honestly think the cops and like everybody else doesn't want to get involved in it because their fucking people are involved in it.
Yeah.
Like he's caught
He's
a
caught
fucking
a
cop.
cop.
And
I
shit.
know personally, I'm not going to name the
fuck.
name, but I know personally someone that I know personally, and his brother was on there. And when I seen it, it's not like someone phoned me and was like, "Oh, this guy's brother's on there." It was like, I'm like, "Oh," I looked over at my girlfriend. I'm like, "That's whose brother, right?" And literally 2 weeks later, I seen this guy at Dairy Queen, and it's like they didn't do anything to him, not a thing. And he's still out today, walking around, and he's the same dude. So why is he not doing the same shit? That's my point.
Yeah, like I recently called the Langley Times, I believe it was, and I just left a couple messages, and I was like, I see this, you got this guy's, he was like, let me just grab this guy's name here.
The Langley Times,
They did a big story on this guy. He was like, he works with children and stuff.
I seen that.
His name is Jonathan De Valera.
Yep, I seen that catch.
And they caught this guy at the swimming pool, and he's just a
grease ball.
greasy meathead. And this guy's like a counselor, and they're giving him an award of the year for this guy in the paper like 4 years ago. And so I'm like, well,
Why wouldn't you retract that?
absolutely retract that, or at least take it off your website. I don't want to see this.
Is that still on the website?
Yeah, you can go on the website at, I believe, Langley Times, and
Everybody that listens to this, could contact the Langley Times and get this guy off that website, man.
absolutely
Come on,
make
man.
a phone call, man.
What?
It's brutal. I couldn't believe it. I was like you're.
And if you type him in, Creepcatchers ain't gonna come up. It's gonna come up. What a wonderful citizen this guy is, and what does he do? And number one, he's around children, and if he still has his job, fire him.
Yeah.
Crazy, and I don't care. You heard it here first on Beers with Brokeass.
Are you allowed to be fired if you're on Surrey Creep Catchers? Like, is your
yeah.
company
Okay.
allowed to fire you?
They wouldn't be allowed to fire you, but I would just make a reason up to fire you. You came in late for 5 minutes. Get out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I
Okay.
totally get it, right? But I mean, is there any reverse lawsuits like going on?
No, yeah, guaranteed.
You fired me
Oh,
without.
there
without
will be
I have never
wrongful-
been charged with that.
Yeah.
I have never been anything with
There'll
that.
be
Like,
wrongful
that's
dismissal.
just bullshit.
There'll be wrongful dismissal suits, but the main thing is he's
only time-
not wearing your company shirt anymore, and that will
Right.
help your company rather than have that goof.
The only time that I seen on Creepcatchers where I can say 100% that maybe the guy didn't know is that one time they got a handicapped guy, and even Ryan LaForge was
The
like
autistic guy
He
or
was
whatever.
like he knew at that point too. Like there is exceptions to the rule because some of these guys just don't know, right? But
in his head, he's basically a 10-year-old.
exactly. So
I know he was.
yeah,
Mom,
that
Dad,
situation
screaming for his
I
mom and
get,
dad.
right?
Yeah.
And he handled it just like he should have handled it,
pro.
right?
I saw that. They had a thing on the news about him not that long ago.
Right, and Ryan LaForge wasn't mean or
No.
he handled that like a pure gentleman, right? But there's other times where I've seen him get aggressive, and I understand why he's getting aggressive.
But hold on. Here. Okay, like if Ryan LaForge is such a great guy and everything else, he knew that he was a fucking handicap, but he still put him on the fucking.
I don't think
internet
he knew until
anyways.
he showed
No,
up.
He didn't know. He thought maybe something was wrong with the guy.
Does the shit go live? Like, is it live
It was-
or
yeah,
is
it
it
was-
recorded?
That back in the
and
day,
then
I think was
Posted.
live.
It's live. It's
Okay,
live.
well then.
But like honestly, at first I didn't think.
I didn't
just-
think anything either, and I,
I
was
didn't
like,
think
"Oh,
anything
yeah."
either. So
And then Ryan's actually caught it. He's like, you know, is there something kind of wrong with you? And he's like, I got autism, and it's like, oh, and the guy kept saying, oh, I don't know what I was doing.
or he was just lying.
and he said I was lonely and all that, right?
I don't think he was because his
Maybe he has
parents got on there on the
ADHD or
news
whatever.
and stuff. And
Yeah, but you also got to remember, like in the end, even if he was lying and you're saying his parents got the news, a mother's going to do anything for her kid, right? It
Absolutely.
don't matter.
yeah,
right?
of course, and I totally agree
Aaron,
with that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
your kid could be a murderer, and my son's the greatest. No, like Aaron Giles is, rest in peace, his mom. But before his mom,
I just like
Yeah,
I-
she put up the house apparently to get that.
that's
guy
what I'm saying, right?
on bail until trial.
That's insane.
Oh, Giles' mom.
Yeah.
You want to know something? I think I think what Creep Catchers does is great, but I think I think the whole like vigilante thing needs to step up one further. And you catch a guy twice like that, you chop off a fucking digit.
I
Yeah, then he's doing 10 years.
Yep. No, not him.
the government.
Look,
whoever.
man, this guy's plastered all over there. Second repeat offender. Why don't we have a Cape Crusader
right.
going around catching this guy and just going
Like
with
that
some
guy.
shears,
Have you ever seen that
with
guy in
some
the
masked
States?
man.
So we're advocating for
Have you ever
Fucking
have you
rights
ever
we are.
seen the guy in the States
For the
and he-
children.
and he goes in Seattle and he walks around. He's a professional MMA fighter, but he's also walks around at night in a full-on superhero costume.
Yeah.
His name is I forget what his name is, but he's a real MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And he walks around at night and does the vigilante thing, Rob. So there is a guy out there doing
Yeah,
that.
there's lots of people that
I'm
do
not
that.
saying do it, but like, what the fuck? Like, what?
Something has to
Forget
change.
his name though.
You have
It
to
does.
you have to put fear into these people, whether it's going to be our court systems and or Batman, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, but like I said it earlier in my earlier points, same thing, man. If there's no consequences, there's never gonna be. It's like for
Yeah,
instance,
but we can make consequences.
okay, but here's a prime example. It's like someone who overeats. They eat and 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 they eat. All of a sudden they wake up and they're 300 pounds. And you ask the person, how'd you get to 300 pounds? I have no idea. It's the same idea. If they knew that they were going to be 300 pounds and they could see themselves at 300 pounds and feel themselves on that scale and feel what it feels like to walk at 300 pounds just for a day, they'd never be 300 pounds. Same thing. If there was a
What
consequence,
the fuck are you saying?
It's more
I don't get
complex.
it.
It's consequences.
It's
Okay.
complex.
It's
Because
complex,
Even
right?
even with laws for these guys, they're sick. They're still gonna.
they're still
I
going to
know
fucking
that
do
they
it.
are.
They're
I
still
know
gonna
they
do
are.
it. That's the thing.
But let's like
We need
let's give the
It's
like
a
you want to know
disease,
something like
man.
save the children. How about this? How about we give the children a fucking fighting chance?
Yeah.
You chop one guy, that guy that got caught twice. Cut him off right at the
But it's-
fucking
it's-
right
or
Or how
ankle.
about just deport them?
Let him, or just deport him. But
Now-
cut him off right at the right ankle. Let him hobble after kids. That way kids have a
say
chance
this.
to run.
Say this. Say your uncle abuses you, and you go on to abuse somebody else, some kids. Does the uncle who's still alive, who never got caught, should it go all the way up the chain? Because I think the abuse, it doesn't just start with abuse. It starts from you getting abused and thinking it's okay, or maybe you don't.
I
know
get,
why.
Sometimes, yeah.
like I get how that works, and like it's a disease and all this other stuff.
It's a tough thing, right? It's a complex situation, right?
I get it, like
Like Aaron Giles to me,
he
I don't
probably
look
had
at
a
that.
sneaky
I don't look at
uncle.
that as a
Sneaky
disease.
Uncle Pete should fucking
different
be
to me.
thrown in jail too, right?
Because he's not really going after little kids. He's going after people his own age. It's almost like he's got maybe a sexual deviancy disease, or I don't know what you call that. What do they call those?
Like he's what,
Like
a
a
nympho?
fetish, a
Like
fetish.
A fetish or whatever, right? But I
He's
think
definitely
you have a
sick.
serious issue when you're going after little kids. 5, 6, 7. That's disgusting, right?
Yeah, but hold on. Like
It's a big difference,
He
right?
like Marco here has actually been like contacted by people where he's he's been known to talk to underage children.
Oh,
under the age of 18. Under the age of 18. Now, okay, he's same age as me, 46 or 47. I don't know how old he is. Maybe 48. I don't know how old he is, but he's roughly around the same age as me.
Right.
Like that's a little bit much, right?
I
Like,
didn't know
fucking
that.
Wait till they're legal drinking age
I didn't even
before
know
you
that.
start
But so
touching.
like again, anyone who is listening, if
No,
you
at least-
have any
Well, not this
contact with this guy at all, and you're under the age of 18, call the police or call us, and we'll help you because this guy needs. That's wrong. Even if that's a rumor, that is fucking wrong, and the police should be investigating that full tilt, man. Every fucking if it's a known 22-year-old guy who got out of prison after 22 years, he should be watched with a fine-tooth comb. And if I phone up and say, "Hey, Rob Terryberry's out drinking tonight, and he's doing this and that," of course they shouldn't come and find you because you're not a criminal. But this guy, if you phone and say this guy's at a bar drinking and hitting on little girls, go to his house and find out if he fucking is doing it.
Yeah.
How fucking hard is that? Get in your car, turn the fucking key, and drive.
Yeah.
You can drive your fat cop ass to the donut shop, right?
Oh boy.
Fucking
I'm pissed off about that. That pisses me off
Yeah,
that these
yeah.
guys don't
Well,
fucking do
it
fuck
seems
all.
like the
But they can
priorities,
fuck
right?
with me in the mall today.
With
Ask me
COVID.
about a fucking mask. What do you mean because my mask was down by my nose and it slipped a bit? The cop's like, you should put your mask up. What do you mean I should put my mask up? Maybe you should go to Aaron Giles' fucking front door and find out if he's fucking talking to a little girl.
Next time someone says,
Jesus
next time a
fucking
cop ever
Christ,
says
right?
something to me like that, I'm going to be like, go find Aaron Giles and tell him he's at
Exactly.
home.
Or find all these other fucking
Yeah.
creepballs out there that you let fucking walk around.
I think the problem
How
is
about the other guy, the balcony rapist? That I know a girl that worked at a beer store, and he would walk in there after he got out of prison for like 10 years straight and buy fucking booze. The Indian dude, the balcony rapist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look
I
him up,
remember that.
bro. He's another fucking creep.
Chinese something.
Yeah,
or
he's
some
still fucking
Japanese
around.
guy.
Yeah, he looks like he's Japanese, like a
No, I think
Japanese
he is
Elvis.
Japanese
He looks like
something.
Japanese
Yeah.
Elvis, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that motherfucker's still out.
Jesus Christ.
And he's walking into beer stores and shit. Like it no fucking drinking.
Yeah, but no, but that might not be a part of his conditions.
Yeah.
It's all what's part of your conditions, man.
Okay, the conditions should be you don't fucking have any more fucking fun. Sure, you can go to the grocery store and not have to live behind bars, but you shouldn't be allowed to drink and go to the fucking bar after, I want to have this guy in here and have a little chat with him and find out if he really is talking to under 18-year-old girls. I'd like to ask him that question.
Well, he's obviously going to say no because it's fucking it goes against his fucking conditions.
But I'll know, but it's looking in his face, right?
Like, what are you, a fucking lie detector
Doesn't matter.
now?
It doesn't matter. You can tell when someone's lying, man. I've grew up in Surrey for 43 years, man. I fucking got a built-in lie detector, bro.
Yeah,
I know.
Tell me if I'm lying.
It's called.
I sucked 100 dicks
You're
in my
fucking lying,
time.
and you can't juice the juicer, bro. You can't juice the
juice
juicer.
the
bro.
juicer.
Telling the truth. He's telling the
You're
truth.
telling the truth.
But I'm just saying, like, it just blows my fucking mind that I'm in the mall and I see these cops walking around and fucking checking people for masks, and it's like, why the fuck are you not up to something that's actually helpful?
They have to make quota, Al. They have to make quota, like fucking
Yeah,
fines
it
and
is
everything.
pretty annoying.
It is, but you want to know something? Let's get back to it. But I feel, I honestly like don't think anything's gonna change when Surrey gets its own police detachment.
I think it's gonna get worse.
It's just gonna get worse and worse and worse and
Because
worse.
what happens when you have
Well, here it is, man. We're a big fucking city now, man. Like
There's a lot of cats with money in the city.
towers everywhere. People making mad paper, drug dealing,
Right.
like prostitution. Like this is not.
if
If you want to come make money, come to Surrey.
corruption,
There's a lot of fucking
corruption
people out here.
runs in all police departments, and don't kid yourself. When you're downtown Vancouver and you're down on the east side and you're slanging drugs and stuff, don't think there hasn't been a cop on the fucking payroll, because there has been. And when you get Surrey police, RCMP are kind of like proud fucking police. They're different. They don't take fucking payoffs and shit. They're
As much.
not as much, but I'm just saying it's very hard. If I walked up to a RCMP cop today and tried to bribe him, I'm going to have a lot of trouble than I would have with Rob,
Or
who I've
bank-
known from high school for 20 years, who decides to become a cop,
Yeah.
who's my new best friend.
Like even I'm glad you kinda,
You know?
you kind of brought that up about the cops there. I had a buddy mine, his cousin. We all know him, but I won't say his name. He's downtown. He's got like he's probably got about maybe just under a key of coke.
Okay.
Schwack, couple pounds of weed, mushrooms, all up in his dash and stuff, right? Few things. Cop rolls up. Gets him in an alley. I think they're like near like Cambie or Main Street or something, right? Gets him in an alley, like not the crazy, like, you know,
Yeah.
Main Street, like not like
East Hastings and
yeah,
shit.
not nothing too crazy,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, it's a little bit more respectable.
Yeah.
The cop rolls up though, and boom, starts busting stuff up. He's like, "Well, we're gonna have to get the dog out here," and then as soon as he found the cash, I think it was like not much cash, but like, you know, 4, maybe 6 grand
Yeah.
or something. Soon as he found the cash,
So let's chat.
goes back to his car, comes back. Oh, fuck! It's your lucky day today, guys. We just have a shooting, or a multiple shooting and a bank robbery. And it basically cop just fucking takes the, didn't find the mushrooms and the weed and stuff. Didn't find the coke, but found like, you know, like ecstasy and like, you know, all this other shit. But took about 7 grand worth of shit. And fucking bounced. So he was happy that they didn't catch him for everything, but he was pissed off as well because they took the fucking cash.
Right. It's like, do you ever notice when you were a kid and you'd be at Riverdale, we'd all be drinking beer, and the cop would pull up and he'd say, "Pour that shit out," and you'd pour it all out. Or you'd have the one cop would say, "Put it in the back of my fucking trunk." That guy's going home with his buddies and drinking your fucking beer the next day watching football.
And I didn't mind that.
right? You know that's happening, right?
And I didn't mind that. I didn't mind.
I didn't mind that either, but I hated the cop who told me to pour it out. I was like, "You fucking cocksucker!" But every now and then I'd be like, "Oh, you want me to put it in the back of your trunk nicely? Okay." You're fucking taking that home, bro. Fucking race. Why would you pay for beer?
Let's get. We're kind of getting off track here.
Why, man? It's a good conversation.
It is, but I just want to know, like, fucking.
I want to know what they're going to do about it. Like, what is Doug McCallum going to do about this? Because this is an epidemic problem, man.
We should.
He is catching so many people, man.
Well, he's catching he's also catching a lot of flack because he was the like I remember saying this before. Like, he's the one that was quoted and saying the paper, whatever. I don't understand why they always get released to Surrey. Like, all the pedophiles and all the the bad people always come to Surrey. It's
just cheaper.
Well,
rent.
he's the fucking mayor.
And he's the mayor of bad too, so fuck, man.
He's the mayor of one of the baddest fucking cities.
But he's a scumbag too, bro.
Well, of course he's a scumbag too, but you want to know what? That scumbag should be sitting there like, okay, I want.
But maybe that
this is
scumbag's
what I
up to
would do.
something though too,
This
right?
is what
So,
I would do. I'd be like this. You want to know something? I'd be like this. Hey, Alex, go and round up fucking the Mexican Elvis or whatever you called him.
Yes.
And Giles, go round them up and bring him to me, and it would be in a fucking very dark room and whatever. And honestly, I would chop off both their thumbs.
that too, or just even sit them down and
Let them try to grab girls like this. I mean, I'm sure you can do it.
And I don't understand why they don't have some sort of was Aaron Giles in a halfway house first, or this let out right to the
No. Yeah, I do believe that you go to a halfway house first.
He would have to, right?
Yeah, because a transition house.
Because I'm wondering,
transitions you from
I'm wondering, it's
prison
so
life
weird.
to
How does someone
real
in the
life.
transition house, like if he's, it's just a weird crime. Like, he was able to go in jail but not be in protective custody. Like, if I was in jail, I'd want to beat the fuck out of that guy.
No. He was like he was in with the same
No,
type of
we heard a
people.
couple stories that he couldn't have been. So, right?
Yeah, no, he wasn't in
PC.
He was in with like more of the rapey and the creepy motherfuckers, but he was still out playing basketball, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, once you're behind the bars, I mean, you still have rights behind bars. You're allowed to play basketball.
No. What happens is when you go to certain places, like if you're like a pedophile or you kill your mom or something,
Well, hey,
you're
hold
not
on.
liked in there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not playing basketball with the general population. They're gonna kill you, bro, and beat the fuck out of you.
I know, but you're in there with like-minded people. Like,
Yeah, because he wasn't he wasn't in
You mean Matsqui? He wasn't in
Yeah,
Matsqui.
he wasn't in
He was in the
Matsqui's-
other one.
yeah,
He was in-
where there's-
Kent's like the highest one, I
Yeah.
think, right? And then Matsqui, and he was in North Fraser, I believe.
yeah.
Not North Fraser, the other one, the one that's up in Mission.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and like Cecil said in that the podcast there, right? The guy, you know, dummied that guy on the basketball court. Maybe people were scared of this guy.
That's true too. When,
You know,
like,
if you're gonna go
yeah.
in there and say, you know, like if you're doing 22 years,
after
you're not scared to fucking kill somebody in jail.
Yeah, exactly, and you become desensitized to everything,
Absolutely.
right? You know, the outside world to you is nothing anymore. So I guess when he gets out, it's also he doesn't even. It'd be kind of like, like when you're married for 25 years and then you go try to have a girlfriend or something. Same thing when he got out. He probably came out and just didn't have a clue what the fucking world was like.
Well, no, I mean, look at all the
No
technology.
cell phones, no
Yeah.
Facebooks. And when he comes out, it's like, oh my God, I got my fingertips on anything and I can hide it.
Oh my
now.
God, this is what TVs are
No,
nowadays.
but now he can
Like,
hide
you know?
it better. Because
Yeah, now you can hide it
It's
better.
even better thing when Marco says he's out creeping out in the world. He really is out creeping out because he's got access to internet and shit he didn't have back in those days.
And nobody. That's why I would love to get him in studio, man.
I'd like to find out what's going to pick his brain, man.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking, just
And like we're not glorifying
maybe
it,
set
but,
not
but,
glorifying at all. Set people's mind at ease.
That's kind of I think he owes it to people too, like to say that he's on the right track.
How about say sorry?
yeah?
How about fucking
absolutely.
say sorry?
Absolutely.
That would be the first thing.
Do
Be a man up.
you guys know if he apologized to any of the
I've never
victims
read it.
during his trials?
I don't even think any of the victims went to any of the stuff.
Well,
It's
yeah, they
probably
probably
too
wouldn't
scared,
have to.
right?
I would doubt they did, but even at that, I can't believe he wouldn't put a thing in the paper or would get out and say, hey, I'm sorry to everybody, to my victims. I just want to live my life. And
I actually want him to come on for one reason and one reason only, and it has nothing to do with glorifying him. Actually, for two reasons. I would like him to apologize.
Yeah.
To his victims and to whoever else. But another thing is, I want him to name that third fucking rapist.
me too. I'd like to find out who that is. Why can't he? If isn't the other guy dead? Or they're both still alive, right?
Yeah.
So there's a third guy. So if there's a third guy, and anyone has any information on this third guy, just contact us.
Well, we don't know if the third guy is real, but I mean, I definitely could be cool.
But a
if
name
he
would
came,
help.
Just hold on. It'd definitely be cool if he came here and he was like, "Oh yeah, it was Jerry,"
Right.
Skinhaven or something like that. Make sure that's not.
But
a real
what
name,
I'm saying
right?
is-
you know what I mean?
In 22 years, that guy has talked to somebody. Somebody knows something. It's impossible. And
Who the third rapist has, or Aaron has?
Aaron has. Aaron, somebody knows the story. Somebody, his cellmate, somebody knows that.
Because if you're going around telling people there's a third rapist, anybody will hear you. I'll hear you. I want to hear the name of this third fucking rapist.
Yeah, I'd love to hear
Well,
it.
we have the name.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
Oh.
but I don't want to.
Don't release the name.
I'm not. I can't.
Don't-
I can't.
No, you've never told me.
Oh, no,
You know the name.
Yeah.
I don't,
But-
but I
but
want
yeah.
him to come
Oh
on
yeah,
here
yeah,
and
yeah,
say it
for
on
sure.
the podcast.
You want him
I
to
want-
verify what he's saying, but yeah, because basically the guy, the name that's out there.
See-
I don't want to say it because I don't know if Aaron's
but you're
lying,
right. But you're right. But it goes back to my point. You've heard the name. Someone else
wanna hear
told
from
some,
him.
but someone else told you the name. So how many people? How did that get to that person that told you? That's what I'm getting at. People know things.
for sure.
Yeah. Hey Ryan.
Yo,
Hey, can you hear us?
yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's going on in the studio, boys?
Hey,
I'm
not-
almost home, like 45 seconds. I'll be home and whatever.
Let's just touch base on this guy that you caught
Yeah,
two
let's-
times.
Yeah, let's do that.
So how is this guy not getting deported?
Well,
So
to be honest, we're working on it.
Nice.
I reached out to a couple places with links to the video, picture of both videos to his ID. And
Awesome.
letting them know that we do have if they're wanting the chat logs and things like that for a way to which to send, right? And said, look, obviously this guy's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
What can we do? And so yeah, waiting back. Obviously, COVID. Obviously, holidays. I mean, government. Anything to do with that kind of stuff takes forever, right?
Yeah, but you definitely you're putting out those feelers. You're trying to get this guy deported.
Oh yeah, I mean, I personally, I didn't want to waste any time on Google and things like that. So I put up a post saying which route do I take, because I know there's people out there that automatically know it without having to guess and
Nice.
trial and error through 3 or 4 different numbers. So
how'd
I
you
did
catch the
that.
same guy twice though? That's how did that happen?
So what happened was on the first time, right?
Okay.
And literally right after we told him kick rocks, and he was like leaving. I don't know this, but I got a message from one of my decoys and says, "Buddy that you just caught, Lee, is messaging me right now on one of my accounts."
Wow.
That's crazy,
So-
man.
So like literally as he was leaving there,
We're mean like 5 minutes after, basically.
like 35 seconds after.
Wow.
He was like pretty much just like, okay, this didn't work out. I'm gonna get on my phone, and he like messaged her. She's like, as I'm watching the live and he's walking away, he's like hitting me up.
Wow.
And why didn't
when
you
you
stop
watch-
right there and go get him? That's my question. Just say, hey, look, you're already doing this again, or you just kind of wanted to kind of let him marinate a bit, catch himself.
Well, yeah, because I was on live, so I didn't get the message from her yet, so I didn't even know. Like literally, I had to let all this cool down, sink in. And I go on my phone and look at the messages.
Right.
So I was like, oh no way, really, right? But I wouldn't have either, because she hadn't age dropped him yet, but he just got exposed, just got embarrassed on TV, like on camera, on Facebook Live, was just like worried about his whole life being over, and then the first thing he does is start up hitting some other chick. So obviously it's it wouldn't sink in. Like anyone who would register would be like, they're not going on their phone to hit up a bra,
Right.
and go look up somewhere like a quiet
Makes
way to
sense.
kill yourself or something, right?
And this just
You think?
basically shows how sick these people are.
It also shows how ignorant they are, because they're
So
Go ahead.
So back in the day, there was one guy that I caught. So I caught him in New West SkyTrain Station, and then once he was done, he left. He started hitting up my other decoy, who was with me at the time, and she's like, "Holy fuck!" But he's like messaging me right now, and we legit set up a catch like 45 minutes later and
my
caught the same
God.
guy. I'll do some research. I'll track down who that guy was and find those videos and stuff for you guys.
That
It's just
is
hilarious.
crazy.
I seen one time on your website you had a guy in there, some weird looking guy with glasses or something, and you had caught him twice. It looked like once at the SkyTrain, and then one time you were in the building chasing him down. And like I'm saying, so does this happen very often?
Gateway guy.
That's who it was,
so
Gateway
the-
guy, exactly.
Yeah, Sean Jorgensen. He's like some weird blogger. He's got some whole the guy's well, obviously crazy, right? Because that guy's wanting to smoke meth with fucking children and shit. What happened with him was when I tried to catch him the first time, he was on one of those things called a Segway.
Okay.
And he was on a Segway, and I didn't see him. And he saw me, and he fucking fucked off. Or no, he wasn't on the Segway. I think my cousin was on the Segway, and he was up top at the Gateway SkyTrain station, like looking at the decoy. Anyways, long story short, he blew my cover, and he fucking started running for the hills back, because he lived. You guys know the hood, right? In Gateway, tattoo shop and everything in there.
Yeah.
In behind Gus's and things like that.
Oh, by Bentley Road there.
Yeah, he lives in the building is right behind Bentley Road.
Wow.
And it hit close to me because my family lives right there. My niece and nephew, young kids live right there, and this guy's just a straight up predator and just lurking.
Fuck.
But yeah, I've caught a lot of guys twice. I've caught a guy 3 times. I think the most I've ever done, I think I've caught a guy like a 4th time, and it gets stupid after that, right? It's just like, it almost, it's just like, why isn't Ryan being the shit of this guy? Or, you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah, for
exactly,
sure.
exactly. That's fucked up.
Obviously, when public shaming isn't enough, there's like obviously a mental illness there, because most people who are not mentally ill get that once you're on the internet, you're fucked now.
Yeah.
Like, there's guys that I caught like 4 years ago. Their video hasn't been up because my website was under attack and everything. Their video hasn't been up in 2 years. I haven't reshared it, and they're still commenting and out there like fucking pissed off, just like waiting to be you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
pissed off people, because that shit, people remember it, man. They'll be like, you'll see in comments like, "Oh, I can't go anywhere. People taking pictures of me and shit." Like, so like. That's
So you're
why
doing
it's
your job,
important to-
what you're supposed to do.
Well, perfect. It puts a light on these guys, right? So when they're in public places, people can recognize these guys, right?
Yeah, like your buddy Jonathan De Valera, that guy can't go fucking anywhere.
Okay.
That guy gets called out.
Oh.
That guy gets called out.
There's
everywhere he
another
goes.
example I had. Marco was saying that he's still got a thing up on the Langley Times where he won some sort of award. So, like, why hasn't that been taken down?
Yeah, I actually called the Langley Times and I was like, why don't you take down this? I wanted her to call me back. I left a couple messages. She didn't. I want them to take that. They were giving him an award for best counselor of the year or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was in that whatever program.
Yeah. So.
I forget what it was. Some letter program or whatever. Where he was actually he was counseling children, which is super fucked, right?
Crazy. So for a fact that guy definitely has he's not working with kids right now.
So I forget is it 3H or something like that? The organization.
It was
right.
4H.
4-H.
Yeah, those guys. I reached out to them.
Awesome.
Or they reached out to me. I can't remember. Either way, and they said for fact that he is not working with them and hasn't for a while.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. But nothing in the regards to like, can I see anything more about this? Like, let's like I'll take that and we want to push forward to make sure he doesn't in other avenues, things like that. Nothing like that.
Oh.
And to be honest, like, while I'm doing certain things, I should be doing more, and I'm going to start doing more. But, like, my brain's all over the place, right? So
Well, yeah,
it's
because
like,
you're not only
it takes enough out of me just doing the
catches.
themselves and the talking and all that. Like, I mean, but you know what? When I do put my mind to it, I do have success. Like, what's his face, Steve or whatever. Was it Steve? The buddy that went on Dr. Phil?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What's his name?
I think it was Steve.
Yeah.
Huh? What's that?
I think it was.
Yeah, and buddy and his wife. Oh no, it was not. Sorry, it's Peter. Peter Ferguson.
Okay.
My bad. Yeah. So I caught him way back in the day, and for some reason I was visiting my mom in Mexico, and I was doing something. Somebody asked me for something, and I was scrolling through, and I remember seeing a screenshot of his profile, and it said Kumon. And then I was like, wait a second.
Wow.
Oh yeah, the learning center.
That's the learning center. So I had already caught him. I forgot like the length of time that had passed since catching him.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. So from that point on, I could not do anything. So I spent like 2 days sitting out in the pool, trying to get to the top of Kumon to find out that like they're a franchise, right? And these people were literally they obviously wanted the name down because I put on the thing Kumon, and I had sent them a link to the video to their lawyer and everything, so they knew. They're like, oh fuck, they had no idea until I called in, sent them, showed them like, yeah, this guy did this, you're on this site, you're on this Facebook platform, and then they're like, holy fuck, all right, well, can you please take it down? Well, he can't own and operate a Kumon, obviously. So long story short, they did a whole bunch of bullshit, cut through some red tape, and bought it back off of him somehow, some way.
Wow. They bought him out.
Yeah. And it was like, it was like a lot of work for them to do and stuff, and not something that they would normally do, but obviously circumstantial.
Yeah, they want to save their brand.
Right? So then this guy tries to sue me through the Privacy Commission, which, still hasn't, I don't know what's going on with that. These guys just throw different cases at me all the time. And then, he tried to sue me for defamation, pardon me. And then it got dropped after I won my first defamation case. Then I get a phone call from the Dr. Phil show, asking me if I would come on the Dr. Phil show. So, dude, I'm serious. I was just going to bed. I just woke up, and I'm like, this buddy's like, yeah, it sounds over on Dr. Phil show. I'm like, fuck you. I'm like, this doesn't, right? Anyways.
That's awesome.
So he's like, yeah, no, it's so and so from Dr. Phil, and we want to talk to you about a case, blah blah blah. And Peter Ferguson. I'm like, oh yeah, that goof. Yeah, he's a goof. And he's like, yeah, him and his wife want to come on the show and blah blah blah. We want to fly you out. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
And why do they want to be on the show? I'm sorry.
What? I have no idea.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, like literally.
I'm just wondering why a pedophile wants to go on and say I'm a pedophile.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know? Same reason why they.
Fucking dummy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Same reason why they call the cops on themselves.
Right.
But, so yeah. Anyways, they're like, okay, well, we'll call you back within 24 hours and get back to you. I gotta let Dr. Phil know. Blah blah blah. So he calls me back, and 24 hours later, and says, oh, Dr. Phil wants to stick mainly with the U.S. catchers. You know, that's our target, whatever. I'm like, that's cool, man. No worries, no hard feelings. So he goes, but can we still use your catch? And I'm like, yeah, man, of course. Like, fuck, show the world. I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
The guy's a goof. Like,
exactly, right? More exposure for the goof.
So yeah, he's like, all right, thanks, man. We'll send you a thing and sign off on it and blah blah. So I jumped through these guys' hoops, all these stupid email signatures, just so they can use my video and my footage. And then I find out that they flew him out. I didn't know, but they still flew him and his wife out on the show and did it fucking.
And he lives in BC here, so they flew him out, but didn't fly you out. Like and showed your video though, or didn't show the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
And had Buddy there being able to like
defend himself, but you not to be able to. Yeah.
And the fucking catchers that they brought on the show from the States are bro, man. You guys need to like plug the link to the Dr. Phil.
Oh, I'm gonna go home and watch it right now.
Because there's like 4 guys that have 4 catches between them. Sorry, there's one other guy. He's got a bunch, but it was just like a
inexperience.
Well, exactly.
It's just popular now. It's just popular. They happen to be doing it, so they're being brought on. They have
right.
no idea what they're doing. One guy was even on there. Oh, I can't even recall. I'm not going to start quoting these fucking idiots. You guys watch it. It's hilarious.
What I was going to say, what I was telling them, Ryan, was I think the new police to come into Surrey, they need to start a task force with you and to get you to show them how you do your catches, because you've done so many and you know exactly how to get these guys and where to get them. And, you know, these guys are just sitting there drinking coffee and they don't even know you're walking through the door, you know? So, you know, like I can smell a cop a mile away, right?
Is that something you would do? Like if say the mayor came up to you and you know, started like
pitching the idea, like would you work with like police and show those guys kind of, or have you thought about something
hilarious.
like that?
That's hilarious. Well, you know, to be honest, man,
yeah.
The cops know how to. They know how to. They have more red tape than I do. That's the problem.
And they have more resources too.
They have more resources. They have more stuff, but they have
the red tape.
They have more codes. They have more things that hold them back from. These pedos have actual more technical rights in the amendments in the charter that protect them.
Yeah.
So it needs to be updated. Like that's the whole problem. And then you also have the fact that we know from the highest up down to judges to politicians.
They all got their hands dirty.
They're pedos, or you know they're being bribed or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But they're corrupt, and it's good squat. Like it's it's a slap in the face is what it is. Yeah. So cops they know how to do this. ICE knows how to do it. That's another example of just how corrupt it is when they have the resources. What do you like? Look at the what's it called? Dark web. You don't think that we could fucking stop human trafficking and shit? Like, come on, man, use your brain.
Of course.
Right? But it's too much money. There's too much.
And too
whatever,
many people are going to get egg on their face, and they're going to have a bad look
Yeah.
in the media.
Absolutely.
So they're going to hide that
Absolutely.
shit. And so if you walk up
Yeah.
to Doug McCallum, who knows how many dirty fingers or dirty hands he's got, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
So if you ask me what I show these guys how to do, I don't know them. I don't trust them.
Yeah,
I
for
do
sure.
what I do because I'm alone, so like I'm on my own, and I only trust me, and I got my own back, and I know if I screw up, I'm the one taking the fall for it.
Fair enough.
If I get,
makes sense,
you
right?
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think more so what needs to realistically happen is like me just doing these catches is like a dog chasing his tail, right? It's never gonna happen, and if you do, you only have it for so long. Nothing's gonna happen until changes are made where the people that I catch are prosecuted.
That's what I said
And
earlier.
then-
There have to be consequences involved, or they're
Yeah.
going to keep fucking doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they have to be like my cases. Like I heard, and I'm actually should send you guys this ruling. So John Lerfold, the football coach, excuse me, that I caught that was sentenced to 10 months on a not guilty plea, which is huge for us, right? Like this guy pled not guilty, so it went to trial. I went in, I testified. He was found guilty. And he was not only found guilty, it was not only sentenced, but he was sentenced to custodial sentence of 10 months. So I watched him get cuffed there and took it off. That was huge.
There must have been a nice feeling there, man, for sure.
And then right after, I'm having cops tell me Crown saying no more cases. They're not taking any more of my cases. Like that, literally, that makes no sense. Also, while I was in that sentence hearing, the judge was reading from Supreme Court appeals and Supreme Court judges talking about how even when vigilantes do stings, it has to be held to the same. It has to be held
Same standard as the police.
Looked at exactly the same matter and gone through thoroughly. So they're saying that they want to crack down on harm against children and things, and they want penalties to not just stay the same or lessen, but to get worse every single time. But somewhere this message is not being it's being lost.
Yeah, it's being lost in the
Right.
transition somewhere,
and I
right?
think it's that Crown. Like Crown's just like, you know what I mean. These rulings and these comments are being said way up top, but way down here, it's just like, no, we're not taking this. No, we're not taking this. No, we're not taking this.
I think they're embarrassed, and I think that there's so many cases that they can't. Like the courts are so backlogged as is. I just think it costs too much money because you're like, how many people are you catching a day or say a week?
Well, it's a lot less now.
Yeah.
But let's just say in total, I've caught in the 4-figure number, right? So when you've caught over 1,000 pedophiles, there's a problem.
Wow.
There's a serious problem if you've caught 1,000 pedophiles and some of them are reoffending. Like that's a serious issue.
Okay, and some of them were government officials. Some of
Right,
them
and in charge of
were-
kids and
Right. So like, yeah, I've heard from whispers that it is true that they're pissed off and
embarrassed.
well, of course, because what you're doing is you're doing their job for them, and
Right.
basically they just can't come out and say, look, this guy's doing the right thing, and they're not going to give you praise, bro. You know.
I even heard on my last catch, the cop goes, "So a word in the office from cops is that you're extorting these guys." I just laughed. I'm like,
Oh, what a
I
joke.
said, that sounds like such a fucking hate.
That's just
I
an
said,
angle,
Yeah,
another angle. Fuck.
I said, you know what? Yeah. He's like, did you hear anything like that? I'm like, yeah. The only time I've ever heard that is haters, bro, and trolls.
Yeah.
So whatever cop you hear from, watch that guy, because that guy's a hater.
Or he's a
And that
pedophile
guy's-
too.
That guy's no. Well, yeah. And that guy's a hater. And if you're a hater, there's a reason why you're a hater, and
Right.
it's most likely because you're no good.
Yeah.
Right? So like, that's what I mean. Watch that guy. Any hater that's speaking off, like, you may not like me personally, you may have like whatever opinions on how I do things, but if you're gonna be like completely negative, go out of your way to make your disgust known. It's like, why, man?
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, some people prefer to be left to police just because that's how they're programmed. That's cool. I don't like Ryan because I think the police should be doing it. I understand, but if you're like, I don't like Ryan because fucking, you know, like, he's just doing the cop's job and he's trying to sell hoodies and he's trying to do this. It's like, bro, like, shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, you're just obviously worried that shit's coming
Your way. Are you?
days.
You're right. Or you want to keep going. You know, with anonymity is the word or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You want to be anonymous, and you're bringing everybody out into the light, right?
Exactly. And you know, and it's not like, there's an energy right now, man. It's slowing down a bit, and I can feel it. But like, you know, like, a lot of people are standing and telling their stories now, and it's good.
Yes,
Like,
you opened up a dialogue for sure.
The internet is finally, you know, being used for something good, which is great, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, as far as like this issue, I mean, there's got to be trust in the government. The government has to be like, okay, we're not going to pretend like we don't know this is a problem anymore.
Yeah, well,
And just, like,
We'll stand behind you
Or-
and do something about it, right? You know.
yeah,
yeah, because they're pretty much like, you know, mainstream media. You know, say Global News, CTV News, CBC News. They're pretty much mayors around, you know, Langley, Surrey, Vancouver. No one really talks about this. So they pretty much know it's a big issue in their community, but nobody is piping up and saying it's a big issue. Are we?
Right.
Is that fair to say?
yeah, absolutely.
I think
No,
the reason.
I find that's exactly how it is. It's just like, and
That's
that's
crazy.
what I one of my things that I always say is a slap in the face, because that's exactly what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
personally, I've never been slapped in the face as far as I can remember, but I remember back in the day I had a beef with this kid in high school, and I think the most embarrassing thing I ever did was in front of the whole school, slap him right in the face like a bitch. And that's what this that's what this
Feels like.
you know, allowing these predators to be released after, like, what is like, warning this person, this dangerous offender is being released back into this community. Like, what?
Like,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. It makes no sense. It's mind blowing that you guys got these guys on camera. They're fully caught, and then they go to jail. They get warned, and then 2 hours later, they're back at home making some lie up to their wife. And you know, and you know, 2 months later, the wife's still with them, and everything's cool. Like, I just don't fucking get it.
Yeah.
I just had a woman who was about to marry a guy message me and said, I heard my boyfriend, my fiance, was on your website. So I'm like, okay, send me the name or whatever. She sent it to me, and it was a guy I caught like almost 5 years ago. His name was Adrian, and he came to fuck a 10-year-old at like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Wow.
And she was like, what? I put the video, because like I said, my website's down. You know, I'm having a hard time with the streamer. So, anyways, I put it up direct for her, and she's like, I can't believe I almost married this guy.
Oh, wow.
And he went for 5 years and was able to just nonchalantly walk around, do whatever he was doing, and then also
That's
meet
the
a woman.
thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The second time, did the cop take the guy away?
So, the cop was like to me about it, because they were putting him in the back, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, you don't have to tell me, man. I know it's just for show. He's like, yeah, we got to keep him warm, right? He's like, we don't want him getting fucking whatever. I'm like, yeah. I said, I know you guys are going to let him go. It's not a big deal. And he's like, well, I don't know about that. He's like, we do have a couple ideas for him. And then that's all was said. And we're just we just, you know what? We didn't want to ruin it. We just wanted to have these imaginations running through our
Yes,
head.
exactly. Of what that ride meant.
It's like, yeah, I lit a noob, and I was just like, yeah.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it was cool.
Wow.
Hey, what about putting stills of these guys' faces and plastering it all over fucking Facebook and shit and saying pedophile, if this guy's touched you, contact us. Because like having witnesses actually come forward of these guys touching them, that's a totally different fucking scenario. That means you're going to be charged with sexual assault.
Yeah, have you done like a shout out to like say
The thing is okay, so just like myself,
yeah.
the cops, when someone comes to the police and say, okay, this person assaulted me or this person assaulted my child, they're coming up with this just almost as much, not as much, but a lot of resistance and come from Crown, where their evidence is being turned down as well.
Because it's connected to you?
No. Their own investigations. The
Oh,
Crown
wow.
they're not even just prejudiced against myself, right? The Crown turns down police investigations.
Wow.
Of abuse and stuff.
So basically,
that's why I say when it's, people shit on the police, and yeah, there's shithead cops out there. Don't get me wrong, but like majority.
Their hands
when
are
it
tied
comes
too,
to
is what
stuff
you're
like-
saying.
Yeah, majority when it comes to child protection, I would say majority of them want what's best and would love to do more, but their hands are tied, and it's fucked up because you see it in every single sector of child protection, from child welfare and all those different things. Like the rules are fucked up. Like you can go in strung off on dope and heroin and take your baby home after, right? But you can like, I don't know, spank your child for like spitting on you or something and have your kid taken away. Like it's fucked up.
It's flawed.
The system's flawed, big time, right?
Yeah. And I'm starting to look into more of these non-mainstream news outlets and seeing the stories of all these indigenous children getting fucking just straight up kidnapped and like taken away from families and stuff. And then it's like one or two stories, and then you go and you look at a yearly total, and it's just like, what the fuck is happening?
yeah, it's a massive problem.
Right? The kids are just straight up disposable.
Yeah, we're in a world where it's getting pretty sick out there, and
we live in a world where your child means money to someone.
Yeah.
That's it. Like it's a fucking
it's a dollar sign, man.
Dollar signs.
fucked. And like any other agenda, like who knows, man? There's so much. Like I don't have time. We gotta
Exactly. It's a whole nother podcast, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to get in. Oh man, I love fucking with you guys. So let me know the next date. I'm sorry I screwed this one up, guys.
No. It's good. Good
Was
combo.
there anything else pressing? Was there anything
No.
else pressing you guys wanted to ask or know or anything right now?
No, we just wanted to check in really and see how
See how you're doing, brother.
I appreciate that, guys. And you guys are good. Everybody's good. You guys are gonna get to spend time with your families on Christmas.
Hopefully,
No.
right?
No COVID rules. Say no spending time with family.
COVID rules. Yeah.
You guys are fucked.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I'm still gonna do it though. So.
Let's
Link-
let's line one up for the new year.
For sure.
I'll have a couple of some new VIP shit for you guys.
Yeah,
All
you're the
right.
man. Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Peace out, man.
Appreciate you
Okay,
guys.
stay
ya.
Take
safe.
care. Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Merry
be
Christmas.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. Let's, like to say Merry Christmas, have a
Ding,
safe
ding, ding,
holidays,
ding, ding.
and please, man, if you're gonna be out there and you're gonna blow off some steam and do drugs or whatever, have Narcan. Call 911 immediately at first sign of an overdose. Don't do it alone, and if you can, don't do it at all. But just be careful,
And
guys.
don't drink and drive out there, man.
Yes,
it's
for
dangerous.
sure.
And
Absolutely.
like and subscribe, man. That's all we
Yes.
want for
Well,
Christmas, right?
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, I
Good
like
job,
that. That's a sick logo, man. The shirts look really good
And they do.
with the double.
You could even like
You put the white on double, so it's nice and bright.
go
It's nice
white
and
and black
thick.
too. But the
Oh,
black
you mean
shirts,
like a white shirt
Yeah.
with a black logo?
yeah,
Yeah.
stick out pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Yeah.
Do you have some white shirts? You'll get some.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be good. But yeah, no, I think yeah, definitely give us a call too. I'm gonna throw it up on Facebook and stuff tonight. And if you want to get some shirts, we're gonna. Put
And
some
again, if you have
packages
any
today.
information on any catches from creep catchers or any Aaron Giles information, and if Aaron Giles is listening, give Marco a call. Let's get you in the studio here, buddy.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.